You chose the oil with the heart symbol, the one doctors used to recommend, the one that looked clean, light, and safe. But after 60, what you cook with doesn't just flavor your food, it feeds or fights inflammation, memory, and the way your body ages from the inside out. And the truth, some oils still heal you. Others, they quietly rust you. For decades, fat was blamed for everything. So we bought what was light, what was labeled vegetable, what felt safe. But science has moved on, and your body after 60 isn't fighting calories. It's fighting oxidation. It's craving fats that protect the brain's delicate linings, the heart's inner walls, and the joints that still want to bend without pain. This isn't about avoiding fat. It's about feeding the right kind of fire, the one that warms, not burns. Let's uncover the 4 oils your body still trusts, and 4 that may have overstayed their welcome. Number 1, olive oil, the brain's quiet guardian. You've used it before, drizzled it on salads, cooked with it now and then, maybe even switched to it when fat became confusing. But extra virgin olive oil, it's more than just a healthier fat. It's one of the few oils that can cross the blood-brain barrier, that sacred gate protecting your thoughts, memories, and clarity, and do something most foods can't, calm the fire that slowly clouds your mind with age. Inside olive oil is oleocanthal, a rare anti-inflammatory compound that actively reduces the buildup of toxic proteins linked to Alzheimer's and cognitive decline. A 2023 study found that seniors consuming just 1/2 teaspoon daily had a 28% lower risk of dying from dementia-related causes. That's not a superfood claim. That's long-term nourishment measured in real outcomes. Imagine your neurons as tiny lanterns. Olive oil doesn't just feed them, it keeps them lit. Use cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil on roasted veggies, fresh greens, or hummus. Avoid using it for deep frying. High heat can strip its protective power. Because after 60, your brain doesn't ask for magic. It asks for protection. Soft, daily, cellular protection from something as simple as what coats your pan. 2. Avocado oil, the heart-strong swap. You didn't know you needed some oils, panic under pressure. They smoke, they burn, they transform into something your body can no longer trust. But avocado oil, it holds. It's made of monounsaturated fats, the kind that stays stable even when things get hot. In the pan, in the arteries, in the aging processes we no longer rush through, but must now meet wisely. A 2024 study of over 15,000 older adults found that those using traditional vegetable oils had 2 times higher risk of heart disease than those who used simple, heat-stable fats. Why? Because many seed oils, corn, soy, vegetable blend, oxidize when heated. And oxidized fats don't just sit quietly. They irritate your blood vessels, fuel chronic inflammation, and slowly rust your inner infrastructure. Avocado oil, by contrast, is steady. Like stainless steel, it doesn't corrode under fire. Use it for stir-frying, searing, roasting, or baking. Withstands heat up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit without breaking down. You don't need a flashy oil. You need one that stays true, even when life and temperature rises. Because at this stage in life, you don't just need protection from the outside world. You need consistency from the inside out. 3. Sesame oil, the forgotten friend for aching joints. It doesn't scream for attention. It's not trendy. It doesn't sit at the front of supermarket shelves. But sesame oil has been used for over 5,000 years in Ayurvedic medicine as both a food and a balm for digestion, memory, joints, and longevity. And modern science is finally catching up. Inside sesame oil is sesamol, a natural anti-inflammatory compound proven to reduce arthritis-related inflammation by up to 34%. But the real beauty of sesame oil isn't in what it removes, it's in how gently it restores. To seniors with stiff knees, aching wrists, or fingers that no longer open jars without pause, this oil offers subtle support, like a kind word whispered through food. It doesn't flood the body. It finds the sore places and simply begins softening them. Choose untoasted sesame oil, light yellow, for dressings, or light sautéing. Avoid the dark toasted kind. It's aromatic but not medicinal. Drizzle over soups, grains, or steamed greens as a finishing touch. You don't need much, just enough to coat a surface, and in doing so, coat the places inside you that are still trying to stay flexible, in movement and in memory. 4. Safflower oil, the unsung hero that cooks clean. Some oils arrive with a scent, a story, a legacy passed through generations. Safflower oil doesn't. It just cooks, clean, silent, safe. It doesn't fight for attention in your kitchen, but it quietly protects your health where other oils break down. Its secret? It's high in oleic acid, a stable, heart-friendly fat that resists oxidation even under high heat. That means no hidden smoke, no inflammation-triggering byproducts, no silent damage released into your food every time the pan gets too hot. In lab tests, high oleic safflower oil produced significantly fewer aldehydes, compounds linked to cell aging, than canola, corn, or sunflower oils when exposed to common cooking temperatures. You may not taste the difference, but your arteries, your joints, and your liver will notice the quiet. Look specifically for high oleic safflower oil, not generic safflower. Use it for baking, roasting, stir-frying, or anything above 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Its neutral flavor makes it ideal for those who want function without fuss. Because not every oil has to shine. Some just need to do their job well, and not leave a mess behind. After 60, that's what many of us want. Things that nourish without drama. Now, the 4 oils to retire. Gently but quickly, coconut oil, the trend that backfired. It smells like the tropics, feels natural, shows up in clean cookbooks and wellness blogs, and for a while, it was crowned as the comeback fat, natural, plant-based, trendy, but coconut oil is over 90% saturated fat, more than lard, more than butter, and your body doesn't digest it like it's from a coconut tree. It digests it like it's wax, because at room temperature, it's solid, and in your arteries, it behaves the same. While small amounts may not hurt everyone, regular use over time can raise LDL cholesterol, thicken arterial walls, and increase cardiovascular risk, especially in bodies over 60 already working hard to keep blood flowing freely. You might feel more heaviness after eating, slight increases in blood pressure, lab tests inching toward a red flag. Without knowing why, it's not about shame. You didn't choose wrong, you chose based on what was celebrated. Now, you just know more. Use avocado oil for high heat cooking. It's stable without the burden. Use olive oil cold for your brain, heart, and everything between. Coconut oil isn't poison, it's just not protection. And at this stage of life, you deserve fat that stays fluid, like you still want to be corn and soybean oil. The Oxidation duo. They sound harmless. Corn, soja, 2 ingredients you've seen on labels for decades, bottled under names like vegetable oil, marketed as light, neutral, safe. But what they don't say is what happens when these oils hit heat. Because when exposed to high temperatures, as in frying, sautéing, or even roasting, corn and soybean oils oxidize fast. And that oxidation doesn't just alter taste. It creates toxic aldehydes, compounds that damage the very vessels carrying oxygen to your heart and brain. A 2024 study in China found that seniors who used corn or soybean oil regularly had nearly twice the rate of heart disease compared to those who cooked with simple animal fats. It's not just about fat content, it's about how your oil reacts under pressure. These oils break silently, and your body pays the price. Check your pantry. If the bottle says vegetable blend, it's likely mostly soybean or corn. Check packaged snacks, salad dressings, frozen meals. Most still rely on these cheap oils. Swap them out for avocado, sesame, or extra virgin olive oil. Oils that hold their shape and your trust. Because after 60, you don't need fat that hides behind a soft label. You need fat that stays stable when things get hot. Just like you. Canola oil, processed doesn't mean neutral. It's sold as light, labeled as heart-friendly, described as neutral, in taste, in texture, in impact. But canola oil's neutrality comes at a cost, Too much processing and not enough purpose left behind. Originally derived from rapeseed, canola oil had to be genetically modified and heavily refined to become something palatable, stripped of bitterness, color, smell. To do that, it goes through multiple steps: bleaching, deodorizing, high heat extraction. And in the process, the few natural omega-3 precursors it held are mostly destroyed or rendered unstable under heat. It's not a villain, but it's not a protector either. Research shows that high consumption of refined seed oils like canola may increase oxidative stress markers, especially in older adults with underlying inflammation. You might not feel it, but your body notices the silence, the lack of nourishment, the food that fills but doesn't contribute. If you use canola oil, keep it cold, in marinades or occasional baking. For cooking, trade up to avocado, olive, or sesame oil, fats with structure and substance. Because after 60, your body no longer just wants not bad. It wants food that shows up whole, not refined to the point it forgets how to care for you. Margarine, the legacy of lab. Fat, you probably saw it in your childhood fridge, golden, soft, easy to spread, promising less fat, less guilt, and the safety your parents believed they were giving you. Margarine was once the future, born in labs, designed to beat butter during the Great War against cholesterol. But behind the promise was hydrogenation, a process that gave margarine its texture and your arteries a hidden source of harm. Most margarines, even now, contain partially hydrogenated oils, or trace amounts of trans fats that stay in the body longer than the good you think they bring. Trans fats have been linked to higher stroke risk, increased arterial stiffness, cognitive decline in seniors, even at low doses. And unlike saturated fats, trans fats don't occur naturally in real food. They're made, modified, marketed, and now mostly discredited. But the myth lingers. If you want a spread, choose grass-fed butter, olive oil blended with herbs, or even avocado mash. Anything real, anything that still remembers it, came from food. Because margarine wasn't your fault. It was your era's answer to fear. But you don't live in fear anymore. Now you choose fats that love you back, not just mimic safety in a tub. You weren't careless. You were cautious, choosing what was called heart smart, what came with seals of approval, what fit the health trends of the time. You followed advice that was praised, promoted, even passed down. Because you loved your family, because you trusted your doctor, because you were doing your best with the information you had. But science evolves, and now you get to choose oils that support not just your meals, but your memory, your mobility, and your mood. This isn't about fear. It's about coming home to something wiser. You've seasoned generations of dinners, with love, with care, with effort, and maybe with oils that no longer serve you. Now you get to season something else, the next decade, the moments you still want to feel light in your joints, sharp in your thoughts, and steady in your steps. Not by changing everything, just by changing what greets the flame. Because cooking is never just about heat. It's about what you let rise when the pan is warm. Every time you heat the pan, you're not just preparing food, you're choosing what stays soft in your heart, what stays open in your joints, and what stays sharp in your mind. You're not avoiding aging. You're just deciding to age on your terms, quietly, wisely, one drizzle at a time. Because healing after 60 doesn't ask for more effort. It asks for more intention in the smallest, steadiest places. Which oil is leaving your kitchen this week? Which one's staying, with more purpose this time? Type, goodbye canola. Avocado ally. Olive always. Let your comment be a small declaration that you're still listening to your body, and it still wants to stay with you. Some fruits wear halos, but for aging bodies, a few of them stir more harm than harmony, especially when eaten the way most people do. Next time, we'll unmask the softest culprits and show you how to eat fruit with clarity, not confusion. Because sometimes, health isn't about restriction, it's about rhythm.